Wizards of the Coast just revealed a ton of new cards and details for this summer's Final Fantasy Magic the Gathering set, and based on the reaction in the pre-orders, it's going to break every sales record Magic has ever seen, and literally just print money.
Dollar bills, y'all.
Before we break down exactly why this Final Fantasy set from Magic is going to make Wizards of the Coast a disgusting amount of cash, why not take a second to hit those like and subscribe buttons to help us keep these videos coming. And then, let's talk about the Magic set to end all Magic sets. Wizards of the Coast revealed a ton of new art, cards, and details for this summer's upcoming Magic the Gathering set, which immediately went trending on social media and resulted in local game stores across the nation being flooded with pre-orders. And this set looks absolutely stunning and captures that Final Fantasy magic that has propelled the series to nearly 200 million games sold since it first debuted. For a frame of reference, the Lord of the Rings books have sold around 150 million copies. So let's break down the new details revealed by Magic the Gathering, and then explain why this set is going to absolutely smash Magic sales records and make Wizards of the Coast an obscene amount of money, and how it could trickle over into other Wizards properties like Dungeons & Dragons. First off, the Commander decks were revealed, and man, they really nailed not only the artwork, which features legendary Final Fantasy artists like Yoshitaka Amano, but they picked some amazing choices spanning 4 big ages of Final Fantasy fandom. First off, you have Terra, the hero of Final Fantasy 3/6, for those old school Final Fantasy fans who got hooked in the Super Nintendo days. Then of course, they had to have Cloud Strife from Final Fantasy VII, the most beloved game in the series and the one that introduced a ton of people to the franchise in the PlayStation days. Next you have Tidus, hero of Final Fantasy X, and the game that brought Final Fantasy into the 2000s and had us all wasting time in high school trying to figure out our blitzball teams. And finally, from Final Fantasy XIV, one of the most popular MMORPGs currently around with nearly 25 million units sold, we have Y'shtola, who has become the face of the best-selling Final Fantasy game of all time and the catgirl waifu of many a player. Not only do all these commanders have deeply thematic abilities, like Terra gaining the ability to fly like she does in her Esper form in the game, or Cloud being able to attack immediately and summon his Buster Sword, but they nail the 4 big eras of Final Fantasy fandom to ensure that any fan of the games will have a deck that speaks to them, and that's just for the Commander part of the release. There are 3 different sets for Final Fantasy's Magic Collab, with Commander just being one of them, along with the fully standard legal set, and the Final Fantasy Through the Ages set, which contains both some legal cards and like Commander cards, Legacy and Vintage legal cards. Basically, it's a little mishmash of both. The Through the Ages cards are sort of meant to supplement your Commander decks while still having some cards you can use in your standard deck alongside the entirely standard legal main Final Fantasy set. And let's just look at some of the insanely amazing cards that are coming out in the new set that will just absolutely hook even the most casual Final Fantasy fans with the attention to detail and lore they show in each card. Like Cecil the Dark Knight, who could eventually transform himself into Cecil the Redeemed Paladin to perfectly mimic the hero of Final Fantasy IV's amazing journey in the game. We've got iconic villains like Sephiroth, Kefka, and Garland, amazing Jumbo Cactar cards whose 10,000 Needles attack from the game is back, this time granting them 9,999 extra power when they attack. And of course, it's not a Final Fantasy game unless we have Moogle and Chocobo cards. So while the current record holder, the Lord of the Rings Tales of Middle-earth, may have had Commander decks and boosters, they never had a completely standard legal set that you could just crack packs open, make a deck, and take to your local tournament the way you can with the new Final Fantasy set. And without relying on something artificial like creating a single true One Ring card, which was then found very early on and after which sales, while still very, very good, began dying down since Magic the Gathering's version of the Golden Ticket was found, Final Fantasy's upcoming set has the potential to be a bestseller for years, since the main set will be fully legal in every single popular Magic the Gathering format, not just a few niche ones like Lord of the Rings was. And even then, the one card everyone used in Lord of the Rings for those various niche formats, the One Ring, wound up being banned last year anyway, further diminishing any reasons to go back and buy those Lord of the Rings boosters. So not only does this Final Fantasy set appear to capture the look, the spirit, and even the lore of Final Fantasy across the ages, it will be the first fully legal collab between Magic the Gathering and a major IP. And the other huge plus it has going for it is that the massive fan base of Final Fantasy crosses all age groups. The amount of 30-year-olds with disposable income who will be playing alongside 12-year-olds who got hooked playing Final Fantasy XIV online, or 45-year-olds taking a break from dad duties to relive their youth playing their favorite Final Fantasy IV or 6 characters in Magic is going to be insane. The combination of a fan base that has bought nearly 200 million Final Fantasy games, and the fact that this set will be legal in every single format of the game for the first time ever, has driven pre-order sales through the roof. While official numbers are not out yet, a quick call to several local game stores here in Vegas has revealed that most of them are already putting people on a wait list, as they have blown through their expected allocation of pre-orders in the first day. And when we get official word from Magic about their own direct pre-orders, we expect that this set is going to make history and a mountain of money for Wizards of the Coast. Now, while some of you may have mixed feelings on that, one final thought to leave you on is that a massively successful collab between Final Fantasy and Magic could give Wizards of the Coast the chance to do something fans have been dying to see for 4 decades now: a Final Fantasy and D&D collab. Final Fantasy is just now releasing its own TTRPG based off of Final Fantasy XIV, but the release is rather scaled down and hyper-focused on a specific game and isn't really getting a huge push from Square Enix. But a Dungeons & Dragons collab where we could get Final Fantasy characters with fully fleshed out D&D classes and abilities, well, that could bring even the most jaded D&D fan to consider making some purchases from Wizards of the Coast again. So keep your eyes peeled for news on that front, as pre-orders for Final Fantasy and Magic the Gathering keep flooding in to stores around the country. So what do you think? Are you ready to unleash your limit break in Final Fantasy and Magic the Gathering? Let us know in the comments, and don't forget to hit those like and subscribe buttons.